Most filmmakers think that storyboarding is boring or just unnecessary. Truth is, it's actually where your film is made. My films are made on paper long before I ever get to the set. That's Alfred Hitchcock, legendary director behind films such as The Birds, Psycho, and Vertigo. But storyboards aren't just drawing. They are the blueprint that save you time, money, and chaos on your set. And now with AI, they're faster, sharper, and more dynamic. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn your script into a pre-viz edit, or the film before the film, all using one powerful AI tool, and we'll explore how some of the greatest films in cinema use storyboarding as well. This is the ultimate guide to AI storyboarding. Let's get into it. So if you're shooting a short film or a feature film, why would you choose to storyboard your film before in the pre-production phase? Well, the first reason, and probably the biggest reason, would be it saves time and money. So let's say, for example, you have a high-profile talent you're working with, or maybe it's a location that you only have for a few hours. Now, this is a very time-sensitive situation, and if you've storyboarded it all out, you know the exact thing that you need to achieve the scene. Number 2 is prioritization. If you already storyboarded ahead of time, when you get onto the shoot, you already know the shots that you absolutely need to make this scene work. Number 3 is shot flow. By storyboarding, you actually know how the edit is going to come together. You know the shots, how they're going to work together and cut together, making up the sequence in the scene. So you're not stood around winging it and trying to find a shot that you think will work. Number 4 is problem solving. Now, a lot of the time in storyboarding, again, it's a pre-production part of the process. Harry Potter.
Again, Potter. Famous Harry Potter. Oh, look, Potter.
Anyway, so a lot of the time by storyboarding, you can figure a lot of stuff out, whether it's complicated VFX shots, whether it's continuity issues that might arise, problem solving that can be done in this process. And number 5 is a creative communication tool. So getting your actors, getting your team and crew all on the same page of what is the shot, what is the scene you're trying to achieve. At the end of the day, the amount of effort and energy you put into the pre-production phase is going to carry through to your production and your post-production phases, ultimately making your film that much better. And that's where storyboards can play such a vital role. Before we dive in, let's rewind a second back to where storyboarding began. It actually goes back all the way to the 1930s, and Disney is often the person credited for inventing them.
Now, in our studio, we don't write our stories, we draw them.
Walt Disney realized you could literally see the whole film before animating a single frame. Snow White, Disney's first feature, was storyboarded from beginning to end, and that was in 1937. Then there's Hitchcock, who took the same approach with live action. The Psycho shower scene was storyboarded shot for shot, basically pre-edited before the camera ever rolled. And then we fast forward to Spielberg and Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of my favorite films.
Every shot in this movie somewhere, in some archive, probably my archive, has the storyboard. And if I was running behind schedule, I would just go up to the big board and I would take down 3 or 4 pictures and I'd be back on schedule again. And that's exactly how the whole film was shot.
Some of the greatest films in cinema were storyboarded in pre-production. The problem though is that this process can take a long time. Well, that's exactly where LTX comes in. So I'm in LTX and I'm going to start by clicking on Start New Storyboard. Then we're going to choose AI Guided Storyboard. I'm going to stick with the script option here so I can upload the exact scene that I want to visualize for this storyboard. And then once that's done, click Next. And this is the storyline section that gives you an overview of your story. Once you're happy, click Next. This takes us to the cast and settings page. On the right, you'll see the characters are automatically pulled from the script as well. You have the option to tweak the characters. Click Edit. You can then change things like age, appearance, voice, or role. I'm just going to go ahead here and tweak the old man character. Change his top to a blue checkered shirt. And once you're happy, click Apply. So you can also adjust things like aspect ratio, visual style, even how the character looks. I'm keeping mine to 16:9 with the style set to cinematic for that more realistic look. But once you're set, click Next. Okay, so now we're into the breakdown view. So this shows how LTX has taken the script and divided it into scenes. Again, once you're happy with this, move on to the next step. Okay, so this is where it gets exciting, the storyboard view. So these shots are automatically generated by the AI based upon the script you've put in. On the left, you can edit things like location, lighting, and weather. So the first thing we're gonna do is amend all of these images and make sure we're happy with how they look and how they flow in the sequence. So for this first image, I'm going to input my prompt of a man's hand holding a pencil doing a crossword. And to generate that, we can just press this diamond icon. And then if the shot's not quite right, we can either tweak the prompt or we can hit that regenerate button again. But if you want finer control, we're we're going to go ahead and click Edit Image. Here you can choose between AI models like Flux, Flux Premium, or Nano Banana. There's also shot types, camera angles, location, again, where you can add in more detail about lighting and weather. And there's finally aspect ratio as well. So when you're generating your images, I would recommend using Flux Premium. And then once you've got a shot you're happy with, we're going to click Send to Storyboard. This list will pop up and you'll be able to allocate where this shot goes in to your storyboard. So if we go ahead and click Storyboard at the top, this will take us back to the main story page and we can see our image is now there. So I've gone ahead and done this whole process to all the images and now we can see what the storyboards are looking like so far. So next it's time to change these shots into videos. So you can start by creating a new prompt in the box below and then click Generate Video. Or again, if you want more control, we're going back into the click Edit and this is going to take us back to that page. And then in the top left, we're going to click Create Video. So now here in video, we have a few models to choose from: LTX2 Pro, LTX Fast, VO 3.1, VO 3.1 Fast, or VO 2. So with the LTX models, we can turn on audio, choose video duration, video resolution up to 4K now, and then choose the amount of variations we want to generate. VO3 models are pretty similar, but the video resolution only goes up to 1080p. However, it does give you another aspect ratio of 9:16. So for this clip, I'm gonna put my prompt in, and for this shot, I'm gonna use VO 3.1 because it's generally the best with dialogue. I'm gonna put audio on and then click the generate icon.
Oh, I was just thinking about the old days.
So now I'm going to go ahead and turn all of these still images into videos with the exact same process. Even today, some of the best filmmakers still rely on storyboards. Take, for example, one of my favorite filmmakers at the moment, Denis Villeneuve, who's made some incredible films. And in this little clip, he talks about his process on Dune Part 1 and 2.
Once the screenplay is done, I will storyboard most of the movie, if not the entire movie, and it's a new way to rewrite and to approach, bring the words closer to the camera. And I then, once the storyboard I finish, I rewrite the screenplay again from the storyboards, because there's a lot of changes that will be found through the storyboards, and it's a way also for me to find the alphabet and the vocabulary that would be used, the cinematic alphabet of the film, the rhythm, everything is in the boards.
In one of my last projects using LTX, I actually storyboarded an entire trailer using AI. It helped me visualize the camera angles, the editing, the timing, and just the general feel of what the trailer was going to be like before even stepping a foot on set. And that made production faster because I knew exactly what I was going to shoot. In other words, you can make the film before you shoot it. So just before I show you the final storyboarded scene, I wanted to give you a little bit more context so this scene makes sense. So this scene is actually the ending of the short film, so it's kind of a big reveal. Basically, earlier in the story, the granddaughter finds a cassette tape, and when she plays it, that triggers a memory for the granddad. We flash back 30 years and realise that he's been listening to these tapes whilst committing murders. Now in this final scene, we see him go to his shed, where we see hundreds of tapes, which means he's been doing this a long time. But anyway, let's roll the scene.
Are you okay, Grandpa?
Oh, I was just thinking about the old days.
Okay, well, good night, Grandpa.
Good night, sweetheart.
Fiddler Joe from Kokomo took lessons on a piccolo, but after 7 years or so, he could play a violin.